Hello, today we'll be going over the accommodations process at Stetson, brought to you by the Accessibility Services Center, and also the resources that are offered by the Accessibility Services Center and academic success here at Stetson University. Before we jump into the academic accommodation process, let's talk a little bit about what an academic accommodation is. An academic accommodation is any change in the policies or procedures of a course or academic program for the purpose of allowing a student with a disability equal access to learning and an equal opportunity to demonstrate knowledge. The best way for us to describe this is that we're here to level the playing field. We want to make sure that students with disabilities or needs have a way to access the classroom and all that it has to offer in a similar way to their peers. This is done through reasonable accommodations, and the way that we get reasonable accommodations is grounded in several pieces of legislature, one of which is the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, Section 504, and you may recognize that from the 504 plans that are commonly used in K-12 education. That really paved the way for the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, of 1990. Those, grounded with Stetson's academic standards, is how we reach an understanding of reasonable accommodations to offer students a way to equally access the classroom. The accommodations process through the Accessibility Services Center here at Stetson is a three-step process. The first of which is to create an accommodations profile. This is located on our accessibility website. The accommodations profile is going to ask you for your information, as well as some short responses on your experience with accommodations, your strengths, your weaknesses, and what it is you're seeking here at Stetson. This will be used later on during our meeting conversations. The next step after that is to submit supporting documentation to the ASC. Supporting documentation, which we'll go over later, can be submitted to the ASC at stetson.edu email. And then finally, you'll schedule an appointment through SSC to meet with one of our Accessibility Services staff members. These steps will also be emailed to you with a receipt and copy of your accommodations profile so you can refer back to them. The supporting documentation that you'll want to email to the ASC can be a 504 or IEP plan, which are commonly used in K-12 education to either give students with disabilities a specialized education plan or accommodations in the classroom. You can also submit medical documentation from a professional on letterhead. It can be a psychologist, a medical professional, or some sort of other professional who has a diagnosis for your need for accommodations. One thing that we like to emphasize is that we have no set expiration date on documentation. Rather, we want to see that the documentation is robust and can help us understand your need better. So if you have a 504 plan or an IEP plan from, let's say, 8th grade or 9th grade, we're not going to ask you to get a new plan or to get some more documentation, as long as that documentation lists what your need is and can help us understand better what accommodations would be good for you. The reason we do this is because we understand that sometimes evaluations or different plans and doctor's visits can be timely and expensive and not always accessible for our students. Whatever documentation you have can be sent to the ASC at stetson.edu, and we'll review it and include it in our meeting. The next step is to schedule a meeting with us. You can do this through Stetson SSC. You'll go to your My Stetson page and go under the Student Life tab. From there, you'll see the Stetson SSC tab, and when you get to the home page of the Stetson SSC website, you'll see a Get Assistance blue button up in the top right-hand corner. You can click on that Get Assistance button and it'll bring you to a scheduling page. When you get to that page, for the appointment type, you'll click Academic Services. For the meeting type, you'll click Academic Success, and for the primary reason, you'll select Accessibility Meeting. For the location, currently, due to COVID-19, we are taking online meetings. As that situation changes, we may shift back to the in-person meetings, for which you can select at that time. For now, you would just click ASC Online. You'll then click the name of the staff member that you wish to meet with. Alyssa Morley and Stephanie Pothoff are our current staff members. However, any staff members that are listed on that page are available to meet with and provide you accommodations. In the accessibility meeting, we'll review the process up to this point and any important information you may need to know. This includes how to request your examinations if you have testing accommodations, and also request your accommodations every semester. We do have students request their accommodations with us every semester at the start or right before the start of the semester. The reason we do this is because we don't want to assume which students need their accommodations at which time. Some students only need or want their accommodations when they have a medical flare-up, and some students want their accommodations for every class every semester. That's why we ask for students to alert us if they would like their accommodations this semester and for which classes. This form is really quick, and you just need to check box the classes you want it for. Once you submit that to us, we will go ahead and email your professors and faculty and your advisor noting your accommodations for the semester. Again, this is something that we'll go over in the meeting. Next, we'll review your profile and your disability documentation. We'll discuss your individual needs, your strengths, and your academic program, as well as your previous accommodations if you had any. We'll review the appropriate accommodations that we feel would assist you within the classroom and come to a decision on which accommodations to provide. Then we'll sign the accommodations letter together, and from there, you will move forward with requesting those accommodations and having them in the classroom. Right now, accommodation letters are being sent through DocuSign or another type of electronic signature program. In the future, you may sign that letter in person. Now, I want to talk about some additional resources from Academic Success that we oftentimes suggest to our students who are coming to us for accommodations. These are open to students who have accommodations or a disability, and they're also open to the general student population. We suggest these resources for all of our students as they really are helpful for being successful in the classroom. The first of which is success coaching. Success coaching are meetings that you can do with either a peer or a staff member to talk about skill sets and ways to improve them for your classroom experience. There's peer success coaching, which some students like because they're able to speak with a student who may have had struggles in the same way they did or who are currently students at Stetson University. The staff sessions are similar, but with a staff member. In either of these sessions, we'll go over things like time management, procrastination, note-taking skills, reading comprehension skills, or testing anxiety. There's all sorts of different things that we can go over during these meetings, and we can talk through ways in which you can overcome and be successful and master these skill sets. Next, we have our tutoring and SPY sessions. Tutoring and SPY sessions are offered through the Hollis Family Student Success Center and through Academic Success. Tutoring and SPY sessions are on various topics from economics to history to mathematics to the sciences. These sessions are offered on a regular and continuing basis. At this time, with COVID-19 policies, they're being offered online, and students can sign up for tutoring or SPY sessions on the Academic Success website. If you have any questions about tutoring or SPY sessions, you can always reach out to the Hollis Family Student Success Center, and they'll be able to answer your questions and give you more information on tutoring sessions. Next, we have the Writing Center, which is basically writing tutoring. The Writing Center can offer students a way for them to have their papers and writing assignments reviewed by an instructor student. These students can help with any process of the writing experience. It can be for organization at the beginning, how to get your thoughts on the paper, how to introduce the paper, and even your final draft. Wherever you're at in the writing process, these students can help you with your writing. We also have our online catalog of resources. Our online catalog of resources has hundreds of resources and is extensive and can cover some topics in which you may want to review for your academic success. These resources include those from the Accessibility Services Center, from the Tutoring Center, and from Academic Success as a whole. We encourage students to check these out and see if there's any that they'd like to talk about, which they can bring to their success coaching sessions and talk with a success coach about. Finally, I'd like to give you the contact information for the Accessibility Services Center. The email is asc@stetson.edu, and the phone number is 386-822-7127. Stephanie Pothoff is our Associate Director of Academic Success and Accessibility. And I'm Alyssa Morley. I'm the Coordinator of Accessibility and Academic Success. We'd be happy to speak with you about any questions you have about accommodations at Stetson University.